Hello, my dear students. So, in the last class, we discussed about the hydrogen peroxide preparations and then its physical as well as the chemical properties along with the structure and storage, right? So, then hydrogen peroxide is a very important chemical. So, we should know more about this one. One of the important concept it is that is with reference to this hydrogen peroxide is that the expression of its volume strength. So, what is that? Expression of its volume strength. Volume strength of hydrogen peroxide. Okay. So, you know that strength of a solution can be expressed in terms of normality, molarity, mole fraction like that. Here the volume strength of hydrogen peroxide solution actually it is. Hydrogen peroxide solution, because if you take this one pure hydrogen peroxide, so we are not going to get that one. So for that expression, so what we can say here, if you take the hydrogen peroxide, no, hydrogen peroxide is a weak acid, and then it is a dibasic acid. Hydrogen peroxide is a dibasic acid. That means to say, if you remove one hydrogen, it will form H2O minus, and then if you remove one more hydrogen, it will form O2 minus, right? So, if you give one more hydrogen, it will become H2O2. Here you have to give 2 hydrogen. It can lose step by step 2 hydrogen atoms. It is a donor of proton. What type of acid is a weak acid, and it is a dibasic acid. So, but we are not going to get pure hydrogen means hydrogen peroxide means we can go for the calculation of normality, molarity like that, but it is nothing but hydrogen peroxide solution. So that we should express that one in terms of volume strength. So it can be done, this volume strength can be expressed in 2 ways. Volume strength can be expressed in 2 ways. So one is nothing but the weight by volume, if it is given in terms of percentage, right? So one more is nothing but the volume by volume, or simply you can say by volume. Say I can give example for this one. 100 ml of H2O2 solution means 100 ml of H2O2 solution means 5% weight by volume. 5% weight by volume. 5% weight by volume. So that means weight of this hydrogen peroxide, that is H2O2, is equal to, that is nothing but 5% of 100 ml. 5% of 100 ml. That is nothing but 5% of 100 ml means 5 gram in 100 ml. 5 gram in 100 ml. This is the meaning of the 5% weight by volume. 5 gram in 100 ml. Okay. So likewise, if you take the volume, that is nothing but by considering the volume. So had you note down this one, this is important. It is a dibasic acid and it is a weak acid. So what are the, on losing the proton, what it will form? HO2 minus and then O2 2 minus. Okay. So those are. So here, if you consider by volume, so how to represent? So this volume strength means, so for that we have to consider one equation, that is nothing but decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. What is that? 2H2O2 gives rise to 2H2O plus O2. You know that hydrogen peroxide is highly unstable on exposure to the light or come in contact with any metal surfaces. Like, so it will undergo decomposition, or simply by heating it will undergo decomposition. So how to calculate by volume means, here how much volume of hydrogen peroxide gives how much percent of this oxygen, how much volume of oxygen. So by considering that you can calculate what, say if I take this one, that is nothing but say if they have given 10 volume H2O2. What is the meaning of this? 10 volume H2O2. So that means to say 10 ml of H2O2, sorry, that is 10 ml of O2 is released. 10 ml of O2 is released on decomposition of that is nothing but decomposition of 10 ml of H2O2. So if they are given one volume means 1 ml of O2 produced from so what is that? 1 volume of H2O2, or you can say 1 ml of H2O2. Likewise, so if it is 20 V means, so that is 20 ml of what? Oxygen is produced from the decomposition of 20 ml of what? Hydrogen peroxide. That is, by having volume to volume ratio, you can find out the volume strength of hydrogen peroxide, or else you can go for the weight by volume concentration, or you can say by having weight by volume, you can find out the volume strength of hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so let us have some calculations, thereby you can easily understand what I am explaining here. Okay, so have a question. Calculate the strength of calculate the strength of 10 volume HCl, 10 volume solution of H2O2, 10 volume solution of H2O2, 10 volume solution of H2O2. So that is, so what is the meaning of 10 volume here? 10 volume means 1 liter of H2O2, 10 volume means 1 liter of H2O2 gives what? 10 liter of O2 at STP conditions. This is the meaning. 10 volume means, so that is 1 liter of H2O2 gives 10 liter of O2 at STP. Okay, so now let us have the solution of this one. So for that, write down the equation, that is 2H2O2 on heating decompose to produce 2H2O plus O2. 2H2O plus O2. So here, if you write down in terms of moles, you know that 2 mole, it is 2 mole of H2O2 on decomposition produces what? 1 mole of oxygen. Right? Are you getting? So this is from the equation. 2 mole of H2O2 on decomposition produces 1 mole of O2. Right? So similarly, if you write in terms of mass, it is 2. Okay. O2 is 32 and then H2 is 2. 32 plus 2, you know the calculation of molar mass. So 32 plus 2 is nothing but 34. So totally 2 into 34 grams it is. 2 moles of H2O2 means 2 into 34 grams, that will come around how much? Yes, 68 grams. So 68 grams of H2O2, we can express this oxygen in terms of, that is volume. So you know 1 mole of any substance occupy a volume of 22.7 liters or dm cube. 22.7 liters, that is the volume. That is from the equation you got this one. But we are having how much? 10 liter. For 10 liter, to obtain 10 liter of this oxygen, how much this hydrogen peroxide is required? Are you getting the concept? Very simple concept it is. So calculate the strength of 10 volume, they can give 20 volume, 100 volume, whatever they give. So in the market you are going to get hydrogen peroxide labeled as 10 volume. 10 volume. What is the meaning of that? I am explaining here. 10 volume. You are going to get 100 volume, like that. 100 volume, 30%, and then 10 volume, 3% hydrogen peroxide, like that. It has been labeled on the watch bottle. In the market, you are going to get the hydrogen peroxide solution like this, labeled as this one. Okay. So what is that? We are understanding here. So are you getting? Very simple this is. 2 mole means 68 gram, on decomposition produces 10 liter, that is 22.7 liters, mean how much H2O2 is required to get 10 liter. Very simple now, cross multiply and you will get the answer. So what is that? So that is finally I can write here, that is since, you can write here, since 22.7 liter of O2 is produced from 68 gram, is produced from 68 gram of H2O2. Okay, therefore 10 liter of O2 is produced from, yes, how you can write, 68 into 10 divided by 22.7. So if you do the calculation, so you are going to get a value of 29.9 grams, 29.9 grams, that we can write approximately as, because we are calculating the weight, 30 gram. So this is the weight. So then if you want to express this one in terms of percentage, means percentage of H2O2 is equal to, that is 30 divided by 10. How much you are going to get? That is 3%. This is how you can calculate the strength of 10 volume solution of H2O2. Okay, had you note down? Very simple this is. So first you should know what is the meaning of 10 volume. So what is that? 1 liter, if I write 1 ml means it will become 1 ml, it will become 10 ml, like that you have to represent, right? 1 liter of H2O2 gives 10 liter of oxygen at STP. If it is 100 volume means what you have to write here? 1 liter of H2O2 gives 100 liter of, okay, so O2 at STP, like that you have to note down. Okay, so once you calculate the weight, then you can express that one in terms of percentage also. This is the concept. So let us move on to one more type of problem. Say for example, if they have given normality, that is one of the way to express the what? Strength of a solution. Normality, theoretically you are not having, but in competitive it will come. So what is that question? So here calculate the normality of 20 volume. Calculate, that is the second question. Calculate the normality of. So that is 20 volume and 20 volume solution of H2O2. 20 volume solution of H2O2. So first you should know what is the meaning of 20 volume now here. So 1 liter of H2O2 on decomposition produces 20 liter of O2. Now let us move on to the solution, that is nothing but 2H2O2 gives rise to, what is that? 2H2O, you have to by heart this one, plus O2, right? So if you go with reference directly, I am going to write now. So if it is 68 gram, from 68 gram, how much you are going to get? 22.7 liters. How much they have given? 20 liters. For this one, how much? How to calculate? So that is 68 into 20 divided by 22.7. So that will come around. So that is 60.79 gram per liter. 60.79 gram per liter. Right? So by having this one, you calculate the normality. We know that normality is equal to, normality is represented by the formula, normality is equal to weight of the solute in terms of grams divided by equivalent weight into volume in liters. Volume in liters. You have to keep in mind this equation. Very important. This normality is equal to weight of the solute in terms of grams divided by equivalent weight into volume of the solution. So what is the weight you got? So weight, that is here this one, weight by volume. Weight by volume is nothing but what? Strength. Weight by volume is strength divided by equivalent weight, right? So what is the weight by volume you got? That is 60.79. 60.7 divided by equivalent weight of hydrogen peroxide is 70. So how you got this one? So that is equivalent weight is equal to, equivalent weight is equal to, so you can have this one, that is again the equation, 2H2O2 gives rise to 2H2O plus O2. Here 68 grams means O2 is how much? In terms of mass, if you write, it is 32 gram. In terms of mass, if you write, it is 32 gram, right? So according to the definition of equivalent weight, how much for 8 gram? 8 parts by mass of oxygen. While calculating this equivalent weight, you are going to say I think you have discussed in case of the chapter 1 some basic concepts of chemistry, right? If you are considering this is the oxide method, there if you want to calculate the equivalent mass means 8 parts by mass of oxygen, 1.008 parts by mass of hydrogen, and if you are considering chlorine, it is 35.5 parts by mass of chlorine, right? It is now oxygen, for that I am writing here 8, right? So then how you can calculate? That is equal to 68 into 32 divided by 8. So it will come around 70, right? So that is so sorry, it is 32 divided, no, it is 8, it is 32, right? 17, that is nothing but the what? Normality of this one. So how much you are going to get now? So that is 3.57. In exam, this question has been asked. The option was 3.57 is the normality of this one. See, when they ask you to calculate the normality and they have given this volume strength, means how to calculate? First you have to calculate the what? That is nothing but volume strength. How to calculate? From the given equation. You have to by heart this equation, or if you have to keep in mind, because in all the problems I am using the same, right? Simple, you know this one we done in the first problem. Then what is the expression for normality? Normality is equal to weight by equivalent weight into volume, right? So here weight is nothing, weight by volume is nothing but strength divided by equivalent weight. What you got the strength? To substitute that one, and the equivalent weight of this hydrogen peroxide is 17. How we got that one? That I have shown here. Simple concept this is. Same equation, 68 gram in terms of this one, molar mass of oxygen is 32. How much for 8 parts? So that if you simplify, how much you are going to get? 17, right? So that is the concept. So if you want, you can note down this one also. It is another important type of calculation what you are going to get. I have given each and everything explanation, right? Just you note down this one. One more important concept, you have to start from this, then this one, then finally this is the extra thing. This is where equivalent weight, this is extra up to this one. How to calculate the what? Equivalent weight of hydrogen peroxide. So this is your actual calculation, right? So next problem, find the volume strength of 1.6 normal hydrogen peroxide. So they have given the what? Normality. Now from that you have to calculate the volume strength. So it is very simple. What is that? Calculate the or find the volume strength now. Find the volume strength of 1.6 normal. Problem number 3. Find the volume strength of yes, that is 1.6 normal 1.6 normal hydrogen peroxide, right? This is the concept. They have given the normality. From that we have to calculate volume strength. So you are having the expression, what is that? Normality is equal to strength by equivalent weight. Normality is equal to strength by equivalent weight, right? Here it is. Normality is equal to strength divided by equivalent weight of hydrogen peroxide. So what is the normality they have given? 1.6. And what is the equivalent weight? Strength as it is, I will keep it on because we have to calculate this one, divided by what is the equivalent weight? 17. So therefore strength is equal to 1.6 into 17. So that will come around 27.2 grams per liter. 27.2 grams per liter. So this is how you have calculated the strength. Now you have to calculate the volume strength. That we can calculate by having the equation. Once again, 2H2O2 gives rise to 2H2O plus O2, right? So 68 grams gives 22.7 liters of oxygen. How much we are having? We are having 27.2 grams. How much? Per 22.7 grams, 77.2 grams it is how much? So then what we can do? Here it is. So therefore 22.7 into 27.2 divided by 68. So that will come around 8.96 volume. 8.96 volume. So this is the mass you have calculated. This is nothing but the volume. This is nothing but volume strength of what? Our hydrogen peroxide, whose normality is 1.6 normal. Understood this problem? If they given the normality and they told you to find out the volume strength, this is how. So you should remember this formula. Normality is equal to strength divided by equivalent weight. If you know the weight, if you know the volume, you can calculate the strength. Volume by strength. Weight by volume is nothing but the strength, right? Equivalent weight substitute, you are going to get the strength. So then by having the expression, you calculate the the volume of the oxygen. Volume of oxygen, that means to say 68 grams liberates 22.7 liters, means 27.2 grams liberates 8.96 volume of oxygen at STP. This is one more. Let us have one more. If they given the percentage, so what is the problem? So that is calculate the strength of 4% H2O2. Calculate the strength of 4% H2O2. Fourth one, calculate the strength of 4% H2O2. So here they have given what? The percentage. In the beginning itself I told no, the volume strength of hydrogen peroxide can be calculated by means of two ways. One is volume, weight by volume, one is nothing but volume by volume, right? So here it is the first one. So then this one you write down once again, solution 2H2O2 gives rise to 2H2O plus O2, right? So 4% means weight of H2O2, is equal to 4% of total volume of the solution. Total volume of the solution. Total volume of the solution, right? That is 1 volume H2O2 is equal to 4% of that is equal to 1 liter, that is equal to 1000 ml. That is equal to 1000 ml. So the volume of the solution per liter. So the volume of the solution per liter is equal to 4% of 1000 ml. See, total volume is 1000 ml. So out of that, what is the percentage of our hydrogen peroxide? It is 4%. So therefore, we can this one we can get 4 by, if you want to get the mass, means 4 divided by 100 into 1000. 4 divided by 100 into 1000. So these two will get cancelled. So it will come around 40 grams per liter. 40 grams per liter. Okay, from the percentage you got the mass. This is how. From the percentage you got the mass. Now we will come to the same equation. So here again the same story, right? Shall I rub this one? So or else I will write one more time where you copy down this one first. How to calculate the weight from the percentage. That is, weight of H2O2 is equal to 4% of total volume of the solution. So 1 volume H2O2 means 1 liter, that is equal to 1000 ml. So the volume of the solution per liter is equal to 4% of the total volume. So therefore, that from that percentage you are going to get 40 grams. Okay. So yes, now you move on to the same equation. So here again 68 gram gives, what is the volume? 22.7. From 68 gram you got 22.7 liters. So then how much you are having now? From 40 gram, how much it will be? So we can have, that is equal to 40 into 22.7 divided by 68 grams. So that will come around 13.17. 13.17. So this is what the strength of 4% hydrogen peroxide. How much? 13.17. Okay. So that's how you can calculate. Let me try one more, the last one. So that is what will be the oxygen? This is a little bit different one, that's why I am going. So write down this one. So I think you completed this one. Is the strength of 4% H2O2, right? Okay. Try one more. Let us try one more. So write down the problem. What will be the mass of the oxygen liberated? Let me write. What will be the mass of oxygen liberated by decompose of 200 ml of H2O2 with a strength of, little bit lengthier it is, with a strength of 34 grams per liter. Okay. So we have to find out the mass of oxygen, not the volume of oxygen. Mass of oxygen liberated by decompose of 200 ml of H2O2, which is having a strength of 34 gram. They have given the strength of hydrogen peroxide, volume of hydrogen peroxide. You have to calculate what? Mass of oxygen. Again it is a little bit different. So they have given solution. Strength of H2O2 is equal to how much? That is 34 grams per liter, right? So 1 liter of H2O2 contains So what is the meaning of this one? 1 liter of H2O2 contains 34 grams of H2O2. So then how much for 200 ml? They have given 200 ml, right? 200 ml of H2O2 contains, so for 1 liter it is 34, for how much? For 200, means how you are going to give now, right now? So that is 200 into 34 divided by 200 into 34 divided by 1000, right? So that will come around 6.8 gram, 6.8 gram, 6.8 gram. So now let us move on to the same equation. Where should I write? Here I will write, that is 2H2O2 on decomposition produces 2H2O2. So from 68 gram, from the equation, how much you are going to get? Mass, we have to calculate the mass, no? So it is 1 mole. 1 mole of oxygen means how much? 32 gram. So but how much we are having here? So that is 6.8, right? We are having now 6.8 gram. It is 68, it is 6.8. So how much you are going to get? What is the mass of oxygen liberated? So again, that is equal to 32 into 6.8 divided by 68. So you are going to get around 3.2 gram of oxygen. It is very easier now, right? So it is the how you can calculate the what mass of oxygen also. It is a different type of problem. I am trying to give almost all types of problems what you are going to get with reference to this percentage volume strength of hydrogen peroxide. I hope you got this one. So that is what will be the mass of oxygen liberated by decompose of 200 ml of H2O2 with a strength of 34 grams per liter. So for that, strength of H2O2 is 34 gram per liter. What is the meaning of that? 1 liter of H2O2 contains 34 gram of H2O2. Then how much we are having? 200 ml. So for 200 ml, what is the mass? 6.8 grams. Why we have to calculate? Because we have to calculate the mass of H2 oxygen. So from the equation, 68 gram, 32 gram means how much for 6.8 grams. So you are going to get 3.2 grams. I think this is enough. Remaining we are going to do in case of while discussing the competitive, or you can say the questions with reference to this hydrogen peroxide. If you go through the textbook also, you are having this one. So this is how you can express the volume strength. It is very, very important concept. So whenever you see the in the market that is 10 volume H2O2 means you have to understand. So that is 1 liter or 1 ml of H2O2 produces 10 ml of, or you can say, so that is 10 volume of oxygen at STP. That is the meaning of that one. Because this is a solution, we are not going to get the pure hydrogen. We have to express in terms of percentage only. Okay now? So now one more important concept here. Not so important for theory, but you should know, because it is one of the compound of this hydrogen, that is nothing but heavy water. What is that? Heavy water, which can be represented by the formula D2O. Water, that is D2O. Okay. So if you come to this one, so if you go for the preparation of this one, it can be obtained by exhaustive electrolysis of water. If the water is subjected for exhaustive electrolysis, so what the product you are going to get is nothing but the heavy water, or else it can also be obtained as a byproduct during the preparation of fertilizers. Also this heavy water is a byproduct in the fertilizers industries. So if you come to its properties, so So that has been given in the book in the form of a table, just to go through that one. So this it is having a lesser dielectric constant. It is having a lesser dielectric constant. The value of this less dielectric constant than water, ordinary water what we are having. So it is not universal solvent. So it is not universal solvent. That is a physical property, universal solvent. Okay. So then if you come to its what uses of this one, it can be used as a what we can say, it can be used as a moderator. Can be used as a moderator where in nuclear reactors. So what is the function of these moderators? They control the speed of neutrons which are produced during a nuclear reactions. So during nuclear reactions, so what there will be production of neutrons. They are having very high speed, they are highly energetic. So control the speed of those neutrons what we are going to use. So there are so many other substances, out of them heavy water is also one. So control the speed of this one. What is that? The neutrons produced during the nuclear reactions. So what do you call for the function of that one? It acts as a moderator. And also this heavy water can be used as tracer compound. So what is the meaning of that? So whenever you want to study the reaction mechanism, so during that time also you can use this heavy water as a tracer compound to study the mechanism of reactions. So in the last, if you move on to its chemical properties, very few chemical properties, you can note down these. This much is enough for heavy water. So here the deuterium is present in place of hydrogen in case of heavy water. The formula is D2O. It is produced by the exhaustive electrolysis of water and also as a byproduct during the synthesis or preparation of fertilizers. Then its dielectric constant is less. You can compare the values, all other physical properties of this heavy water with the water that has been given in NCERT textbook. No need to by heart, just go through that one. What are the values which resembles this water and what are they are different from the heavy water. So it is not fit for drinking purpose also, right, because of the variation of those properties. So here, and then it can be used as a moderator, and finally it can be used as a tracer compound also. With that, if you move on to some of the chemical properties which are almost similar to our water, but in place of H I am going to write D, that is nothing but deuterium. Okay. So what are those chemical properties? Very chemical properties they have given. Chemical properties, if you take chemical properties of this heavy water, if you take the first one, whenever calcium carbide, that is nothing but C2, is made to react with this deuterium oxide, just like H2O, it is D2O. So what you are going to get? Calcium deuteroxide, hydroxide of this one, OD, sorry, not it is H, it is D, right? So then with the formation of a compound, that is C2D2. This reaction is almost for the preparation of that you are going to learn in hydrocarbons. No, here in place of this is calcium carbide only, but here you are going to get 2H2. Water if you take, so what are the products in case of water? Calcium hydroxide and ethane, C2H2, that is, it is C2D2. Similarly, if you go for the second property, if you made to react with the sulfur trioxide, so it will form into D2SO4. D2SO4. This reaction is also very important reaction. We are going to learn in case of once again second PUC, that is the preparation of sulfuric acid. It is, if it is H2O means what it will be? H2SO4. Right. So, very important step in the preparation or manufacture of sulfuric acid, that is by a process called as contact process, right, that you are going to learn in higher classes, that is in second PUC. So, one more important chemical reaction we can note down here. So, that is with the aluminium compound, that is Al4C3, if it may to react with what, deuterium oxide, or you can say the heavy water. So, it will form into 3DC4 plus 4AlOH. So, that is OD thrice. It is a compound similar to your methane, right? It is methane like. CD4 means CH4, that is methane, and then here it is nothing but aluminium hydroxide. It is not aluminium hydroxide because it is a hydroxide of deuterium here, D here, OD thrice. So, these are the some of the chemical reactions or chemical properties with reference to what, our heavy water, that we can note down. So, the reaction with calcium carbide, reaction with sulfur trioxide, reaction with aluminium carbide. Okay. So, the reactions are very much similar to the reactions what we are going to see in case of water. Okay. Now after having this one, let me move on to the last concept of this chapter, that is dihydrogen as a fuel. That is a very simple concept. What is that? Dihydrogen as fuel. Dihydrogen as fuel and hydrogen economy. One more concept, hydrogen economy. Together we can complete this one. Economy. Okay. Yes. Here, what is this dihydrogen as a fuel? So, you know about fuels, generally we are going to use petroleum, diesel, kerosene, LPG, CNG, like that. What I am telling now, so this dihydrogen, in the beginning itself we discuss about this one. Once we had a control, proper control over the hydrogen or dihydrogen, there will be no energy crisis. Everyone can lead a luxurious life. That I told in the beginning, right? So, here this dihydrogen can be used as a fuel because on burning or on combustion, this dihydrogen produces large amount of energy. On combustion it produces large amount of energy, or you can say heat energy. That energy, what it is released by the dihydrogen combustions is almost 3 times greater than the energy what you are going to get from the combustion of the petrol. That has been given in the book. Just go through the values. No need to by heart. Once again I am telling, if it is 50 means, what is the 3 times of 50? 50 into 3, that is 150, or you can say. So, 3 times greater energy you are going to get from the combustion of just hydrogen, that is the petrol. That I can say this is the advantage of using dihydrogen over petrol also. And one more thing what we can note down here is that limited pollutants or no pollutants at all. Only we can have only dioxygen, or you can say oxides of nitrogen will be present, or they contaminate the dihydrogen. Oxides of nitrogen can overcome just injecting small amount of water into the cylinder of dihydrogen. So, limited pollutants or no pollutants at all in case of hydrogen. If you use hydrogen as a fuel, there will be no pollutants, but there is a pollutant that is present or associated with the dihydrogen is nothing but oxides of nitrogen that can also be overcome by injecting a small amount of water. What this water will do? This water will lower the temperature. Water lowers the temperature. Water lowers the temperature. Right? So to prevent or hence prevent the reaction between hydrogen, that is oxygen and nitrogen. There will be no oxides of nitrogen then. This reaction between oxygen and nitrogen is possible only at higher temperature. That we are lowering now. How? By injecting the water. So there will be no pollutants at all. So that's why it is more efficient compared to that petrol. So then why we are not using this dihydrogen? Right? Because of these limitations you can say, or because of its expensive nature you can say. What is that? So if you look at the mass of cylinder or container, you can say mass of cylinder or container used is 30 times, right? It is 30 times more than the mass of 30 times more than the mass of petrol cylinder, or you can say LPG cylinder. The cylinder what you are using for petrol, no, so that is lighter one compared to this one. Its mass is 30 times. Then it will very difficult. You can say this is no disadvantage of this dihydrogen. Why we are applying still, searching for some other methods. So why we can reduce that mass. Yes, it is a highly efficient, but there are some limitations. And one more is that the containers should made up of expensive metals. So that is expensive because you have to store hydrogen at a very low temperature in the form of a liquid. If you want to store the dihydrogen gas, that is nearly I think 20 Kelvin temperature, that much is required. So in order to do that one, the container quality should be good, so that, but they are highly expensive in nature. What are the containers that we can use here? So we can use the sodium nickel metal combination, or titanium hydride combination, or we can have magnesium hydride combination. All these are highly expensive, highly costly. Everyone can't offer this one. This is over the petrol. And what about the hydrogen economy? The basic principle of hydrogen economy is its transportation and storage as gas or liquid, not as power. This is the principle of hydrogen economy. So this is the concept with regarding to dihydrogen as a fuel and the hydrogen economy. Okay, so if these limitations overcome, so there will be no energy crisis. So this is what with reference to your textbook. I just want to discuss one more very simple concept. So that is about ortho and para hydrogen. One more extra information, just I will take 5 more minutes. So that is what we can say nuclear spin hydrogen or ortho para hydrogen, or you can say this one as nuclear spin hydrogen. Nuclear spin hydrogen. So that is not there in the textbook, but still it is important. That's why I am discussing. Very small concept this is. So if you take the atom of hydrogen, which is having a nucleus at the center, in that there will be a proton, right? And then around that the electron will be revolving, right, in the circular path. Then if it is a diatomic, means one more atom will be there, there will be a proton. If the nucleus and the proton, both of them will be in the same spin. Okay, so if the nucleus and the proton, both of them are in the same direction or same spin, you can have same spin. What we call that one as orthohydrogen. It is called as orthohydrogen, right? So what and what? The nucleus and the proton, are in same direction. So then what we call that for such type of dihydrogen, that is called as the orthohydrogen. Similarly, if the nucleus and the proton, we take one more atom, its proton, if it is in this direction, then this will be in the opposite direction. If the nucleus and the proton are in different direction, right? So what you call for that one? That is called as para-hydrogen. Right? So if you take at room temperature, so what we can say, these are important points. Had you note down this one? What is the meaning of orthohydrogen and para-hydrogen? Right? Nucleus and the proton are in the same direction. Nucleus and the proton are in the different directions. So that is ortho and para-hydrogens. So these are important points. What now I am going to tell? So that at room temperature, 75% orthohydrogen and 25% para-hydrogen will be there. So the ratio for ortho is to para is equal to 3:1. Because it is 75, this is 25. This is the condition at what? Room temperature. But as the temperature decreases, that is at low temperature, say 0 Kelvin like that, at low temperature, para-hydrogen increases. The percentage of para-hydrogen increases. And then one more is that point is that this is at low temperature, this is at low temperature, and this is at room temperature. What is that? So ortho is more stable. More stable hydrogen. And one more is that conductivity of ortho is less than the conductivity of para. Conductivity of ortho is lesser than the conductivity of para. And then if you come to the magnetic moment of para is 0. And that of ortho has, two 2 times that of proton. 2 times that of a proton. 2 times that of a proton. So these are the important concept what I left, and this completes the chapter. What is that? Hydrogen. So in the next class, if possible, we are going to discuss some more questions what we are going to get in exams. So this is hydrogen. I think I hope you understood. So in the next class, we will move on to the questions which are associated with this hydrogen. Thank you.